Yeah, man, who are you and what do you do?
First of all, I'm Dr. Xavier Buck. I'm the Executive Director of the Dr. Huey P. Foundation.
Okay, that's what's up. So what is the foundation up to right now? You guys just got a new building, I heard.
Yeah, man. Our mission is to preserve and promote the legacy of the Black Panther Party. So last year we installed Dr. Huey P. Newton Way. Then a few months later we installed the statue of Dr. Huey P. Newton. And now we're opening up a Center for Research and Action. It's the first time we've had a brick and mortar location in 27 years, and this is an interactive museum and think tank.
Okay, so what is your desire for the museum and think tank? What are you guys trying to accomplish on your first year out? Like 2023, what can people come to this foundation and do?
Yeah, man. So it's going to take at least a year to build the entire vision out. We're aggressively fundraising, but I would say we're already programming in the space. What I want people to take away is, one, to be able to learn about this history, engage with it, to learn the organizing tactics, so they can really take what the Panthers did, tailor it to their own communities, and figure out how to spur change right now, right? So it's always about the research, the learning, but it's about that action.
Okay, that's what's up. So what type of gifts and talents or work or activism are you looking for people to come and do at the foundation and contribute to?
Yeah, man. I mean, it's really open. There's a lot of artists in Oakland. You know what I mean? There's a lot of ways of interpreting this history or displaying this history through art forms. I mean, we have all these muralists, we have performers, we have dancers. This space can really be used for anything. We kept it flexible on purpose because we want to be able to bend to the community in Oakland. So that's what we do, man. Right. It's based on the community's needs, and we respond and say, all right, this is what this could look like. This is how we can program.
Okay, so if some local poets or painters or something wanted to do something for you guys and show it to you, how do they reach out? What's a good website or email?
Yeah, hueypnewton.org. That is our website. You can also email me at Xavier, Xavier, at hueypnewton.org.
Okay, that's what's up. Any final words for Oakland or for the community?
Man, thank you for embracing us, man. That's it.
All right, cool, man. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Yep, it's an honor.
It was cool, bro.
All right.
Hey.
Introduce my cousin David.
All power to the people. David Lataro Newton, part of the foundation, and Dr. Huey P. Newton's nephew, and my cousin Kieran.
Sure. All right, can everybody? That's a lot better. So we'd like to welcome you today on behalf of the board and the foundation to Dr. Huey P. Newton Day. Basically, it's the block party commemorating Dr. Huey P. Newton Day. Just a brief bit of background about our foundation. So the Huey P. Newton Foundation is a 501c3 nonprofit organization. We're dedicating to preserving and promoting the true legacy and ideals of the Black Panther Party. We've been in operation since 1995. We commission public art. We create educational tools to inspire and inform real social, economic, and political change. We're also the #1 resource and the #1 source for public art education, historic preservation, and the archival collections for people seeking the truth about the Black Panther Party. And with that being said, I'd like to introduce a really special person, which is my mother, who is the president of the Dr. Huey P. Newton Foundation, to welcome everybody to this joyous occasion. Frederica Newton.
Hey everybody, thank you so much for coming. Boy, how many of you were out here last year in Hurricane Huey? Yeah, so we're glad it's sunny today. Thank you, and thank you my son and my nephew, and I just feel so good to be out here today. Let me just take you back to a year ago. A year ago, right here, right out here, we had a lot to celebrate. We celebrated the 55th anniversary of the founding of the Black Panther Party, and today we celebrate 56 years since that beautiful organization was formed right here in Oakland, And we also did this. Y'all did this beautiful bus right over here. And the street name changed the street name to Dr. Huey P. Newton Way. All right. A year ago, we felt like the storm of the century came down on us. It actually felt like the heavens opened up. We have taken to calling it Hurricane Huey. And the winds, the torrential, it was epic out here. And we stayed, we stormed the storm. I think I'm still wet from last year. But someone said last year that the Black Panther Party was in a storm. I think it was Huey's brother Melvin was born in a storm. So it was pretty symbolic that we had that storm to commemorate 55 years to unveil this sculpture of Huey. I wish I had thought of that, but it was so true. But in this city that has celebrated the Black Panther Party with more art and love than ever, we are proud to add this sculpture to the beautiful tapestry of art and murals and music and events in this city, including right down the street, and I hope that you take a look at it, is a mural on the side of a home that commemorates and pays homage to the women of the Black Panther Party. The women that made over 70% of the membership of the Black Panther Party were women, so please take a look at that mural, please. But Dana King made this bust. Dana King made this bust, and it was a powerful and emotional journey for both of us, really. But I think you can see it was because it was so powerful and emotional that it's so incredibly beautiful and, well, perfect in many ways. I'd like to say a few more words about this, but I'd like to bring to the stage our Congresswoman Barbara Lee. Congresswoman Barbara Lee has been with us every step of the way. Her roots are in the Black Panther Party, and she's never too afraid to say it. She says it unapologetically. So right now, I'd like you to please welcome with a warm Oakland warm applause to Congresswoman Barbara Lee, my sis, my cousin.
Thank you, Frederica, for that very warm introduction. And thank you so much for keeping the spirit and the legacy of your beloved husband and the Black Panther Party alive. So that by your work, what you're doing is telling the historical truth, mind you, about the transformative power and work of the Black Panther Party and its legacy, which is a lasting legacy, not only here in the Bay Area, but throughout the country. So thank you so much. The Dr. Huey P. Newton Research and Action Foundation and Frederica Newton. Give them a round of applause, because they're doing amazing work. And I know, where's our council member, Carol Fife? Is Carol here? I just want to tell, where's Carol? Carol, hey, Carol. I just want to thank you for your bold and brilliant leadership and keeping the spirit of the Black Panther Party alive here in West Oakland and throughout the city. It's good to see you, my sister. You are doing a phenomenal job, And of course, to State Senator Nancy Skinner, where's Nancy, who really keeps it all going for us in Sacramento on so many fronts, especially with the progressive movement and racial justice and equity and keeping this movement going. Thank you, Nancy, very, very much. So let me just say a couple of words, because I have, this is campaign time, and I have to run to the airport to do some campaign for some more elections throughout the country, and you know how important November is. So I'll be very brief, but as we reflect on the 56th anniversary, I'm reminded about how visionary and how revolutionary the party was. It was way ahead of its time. It influenced, though, my political work to this day. Dr. Huey P. Newton was known as the servant of the people, right? Servant of the people. Now, all of us in elected office, community activists, members of the clergy, whomever, who believe in the work of justice are public servants. That's who we are. And I was inspired by the work of the Black Panther Party, and as a proud community worker, and yes, a lot of my life was spent with the party as a community worker, I saw firsthand how the party was speaking to the needs of our community, which of course the government in many ways is still not addressing. We were feeding hungry children, providing decent and safe housing, dealing with police brutality, and so much more. The Black Panther Party called for disrupting systemic racism, ending white supremacy, and for racial and economic justice. That's what the Black Panther Party stood for. And so let us continue in this fight in honor of the legacy of Dr. Huey P. Newton and the party. It's up to us, it's up to you to continue this fight. The Black Panther Party held survival rallies where my little boys and myself bagged groceries, gave out shoes. It established a community learning center, which I had the privilege and honor to work with our beloved great sister, Erica Huggins. Erica, let me tell you, she did quite a job in developing the community learning center where black kids finally had a school deserving of knowing their history, the arts, and so much more. The party drew attention to the sickle cell anemia disease through the George Jackson Health Clinic, Community Health Center, which was totally neglected because primarily sickle cell anemia affected black people. And building on the work of the party, I just have to say, you know, my work in Congress on fighting a cure for sickle cell continues to this day. And yet the 10-point program, it was needed then, and yes, it's needed today. It's needed today. Go back and read the 10-point program. The Black Panther Party transformed Oakland politics and led to the election of the first African-American mayor, Mayor Lionel Wilson. The Black Panther Party did that. The black population of Oakland was then nearly 50%, and the power structure was all white. The Black Panther Party broke that up. They broke that up. Now, I have many personal stories about my work with the Black Panther Party and with Huey P. Newton, but let me just share one because we're going to meet again. I talked to Laurie about this in a storytelling moment, maybe at the Dr. Huey P. Newton Center for Research Action. Okay? You want me to do that, Laurie? Okay, so, but I'm going to share one story with you, and I have many. But you know I got involved in politics through the campaign of the first African-American woman elected to Congress, the first African-American woman who ran for the presidency, and the first African-American who ran for the presidency of the United States, and that was the Honorable Shirley Chisholm. That was Shirley Chisholm. Well, during that time, I was a community worker for the Black Panther Party and with the Black Panther Party. I asked Huey Newton to come to Los Angeles to meet Shirley Chisholm at a fundraiser at the late world-renowned actress's home, Diana Carroll. Huey came down because he wanted to check her out, and he did. And let me tell you, Huey flew down, I introduced him to Shirley Chisholm, and she convinced him that she was the real deal. But you know what? She also asked for the endorsement of the Black Panther Party. She asked in 1972 for the endorsement of the Black Panther Party. She asked. And of course, the Black Panther Party endorsed Shirley Chisholm and mounted a voter registration drive, which was the first voter registration drive here in Oakland that really changed the political landscape of Oakland. Shirley Chisholm, I'll never forget, Huey Newton held a fundraiser for Shirley Chisholm's presidential campaign at 1200 Lakeshore. Huey Newton was bold. He was a visionary. But the party, thank God, stepped out there and worked with allies from different communities who had the same interests as dismantling this power structure in Oakland and made power to the people real here in Oakland. And that was, where's Billy X? Because Billy X was the best. He was my precinct captain. And where is Billy? Is he here? And he registered so many people in the precinct that he asked me to work in for Shirley Chisholm, and then on to Bobby Seale's campaign and Elaine Brown's campaign. So I just have to tell you that story because the roots of black political power really started with the Black Panther Party here in Oakland. Yeah. It started with the Black Panther Party. And so finally, I just want to say, under the bold and brilliant leadership, of course, of Fred Reeker and the Dr. Huey P. Newton Foundation, I have asked the National Park Service to create a national monument in our area at the historic sites of the Black Panther Party. We must lift up the historic work of the past in an effort to inspire the next generation. Here, and this 56th celebration reminds us of what we must do to honor Huey P. Newton and the Black Panther Party members and the Black Panther Party's legacy. And that in spite of, and I know this so well, COINTELPRO and J. Edgar Hoover's attempt to destroy the party, that it lives within our community, it lives with you, and we are showing the world what true power to the people means through our work for racial and economic justice each and every day. So thank you again for being here today, and thank you for continuing the work. All power to the people!
Thank you, Congresswoman Lee, for making time in your busy schedule. She's here in between, I don't know, so many obligations, and right now she's heading out to get on a plane to go back to D.C. So give her another round of applause, please. Show your love for sister. She's bold. She never steps down. She unapologetically talks about her history in the Black Panther Party and where she got her roots. So I'd just like to say a few more words if I can. When I was talking about the bust earlier, see, if you take a look at it, that it was because it was such a powerful and emotional journey that it's so incredibly beautiful and, well, just so perfectly Huey. I'll tell you a little personal story about that journey. The first time I laid my hands on him, the first time I laid my hands on his bust, and that was in Dana's studio, I closed my eyes, and it transported me back to Huey, because there was someone who was a forensic artist who told me that there's muscle memory in your hands, and if you put your hands on him, then your memory will come back to feel just how he felt. Yes. And so I did that. It was in her studio. And I put my hands on his face, and I put my hands on his shoulders, and I put my hands on his cheeks, and I put my hands on his chest. And it was Huey. I just want you to know how very proud and how much Dana was able to flawlessly capture him, and how very proud I am of this piece. I want you to welcome also a few very special people here today. I just want to step back a minute, because when I put my hands on him in that studio, he was still made of clay, and he was cold. And if you can imagine what it felt like to put your hands on the image and the creation of your loved one who's no longer with you and it's cold. But Dana, in her generous, kind, insightful spirit, assured me that when he's in bronze and he's in the sun like today, he'll always be warm. So I would never have to feel him cold again. And it's true. I invite you, when you go to see him, to put your hands on him. He's warm today. So he's with us. He's so with us in spirit. I want to welcome a few very special people here today, and you'll hear from them shortly. But I also want to acknowledge a few people. Of course, Congresswoman Barbara Lee, who just left. All former party members. I don't say former, I say party members, because once you're a Black Panther, you're a Black Panther Party for life. Yes. Any Black Panther Party members, their cubs, their descendants, their loved ones, they lift them up, they keep doing the work still. Thank you, sis. Billy X was here earlier. He's kept that fire going for generations. My family, my son, who stood by me. He's on this foundation board. He walks with me every step of the way to make this history become a monument right here in Oakland to commemorate the legacy of the Black Panther Party through the National Park Service. And my team, my unbelievable team. We have worked together for the last 3 years and have I faced all odds. And I've got a team of 5. They're brilliant. Someone once told me to make sure that the people you work with are smarter, they're more visionary, they're more talented. What else? Than you. And that's what I did. So, what is it? And, well, I don't know about brave, but they brave. They brave. But I want to just bless you, my team. Robin isn't here today, but they're a force. They are a force, and thank you. None of this work could be done without you. Thank you. And Nancy Skinner, thank you so much for coming out, and thank you for your support. And any other people out here who I've missed, I'm sorry. But I also want to thank Terha Ak. Terha, where are you going? And his amazing partner, speak truth to power into existence. Councilwoman Carol Five, who's made all this possible. They've been leading the way from behind the scenes, what Mr. Terhag has, for over 30 years as a mentor, as an organizer, working to make change, and we're so proud to have both of your support and partnership. And I definitely want to thank our financial sponsors today, CRC at the top of the list, Alameda County Supervisor Nate Miley, PG&E, Waste Management, and Supervisor Keith Carson, who had understood our vision from the beginning. Thank you. Thank you all. I also want to thank the City of Oakland, the birthplace of the Black Panther Party, the birthplace of the Black Panther Party. For one, the City of Oakland granted us this property to place Huey's sculpture. This is the first, all right, yes. This is the first time the City of Oakland has acknowledged the existence and contributions of the Black Panther Party by assigning land to have this place. And there will be more to come. The Black Panther Party story and the Oakland story are intertwined. Well, come on, let's just keep it real. There would be no Oakland without the Black Panther Party. All right, so we look forward to continuing to partner with the city and with other organizations and groups that are wanting to tell the accurate history of the Black Panther Party. I also want to thank the City of Oakland for something significant they did last year. They could proclaim this Dr. Huey P. Newton Day. So it's official, y'all. So we're celebrating Dr. Huey P. Newton Day today. We're celebrating 1 year since we unveiled this bust of during Hurricane Huey. And mostly, though, we are celebrating all of you here, because you made this happen. All of you who continue to treasure and tell and uphold and care for the deeply important legacy of the Black Panther Party and its members. There are no measures of gratitude that can truly live up to your love. But I stand before you today and humbly thank you, thank you, thank you. All power to the people. I'm supposed to be introducing somebody?
You already did, so now you can introduce Mr. Five.
This man needs no introduction. This man, do you have the keys to the city today? But this man has been he's been a supporter of ours since the beginning. You all know him. He really needs no introduction. But this is my brother who we've been talking about how we're going to work together moving forward to make this celebration stretch all the way from the BART tracks all the way to West Grand next year. So please give a warm welcome of applause to Mr. Fab.
It requires a lot of strength for a woman to get up here and relive memories and relive things. And I want you guys to make some noise for Mama Newton, man. the graphic details of having to experience it and having to be there and a voice of reason and solace at a time where the whole world was against us. I'm honored to be called, to be requested to play a part and say a few words here today as, you know, a moderator and a host of this event. My grandmother's brother, Glenn Stafford, was a Black Panther member, and growing up in Oakland, you get a lot. You might have some Panther members, and you might have some that are going to be on the other side of the spectrum. And I think Oakland has created that whole. You get a lot. You get a lot in this city, man. And some of us have realized that, and we've grown up with. Some may have been Panthers, some may have been activists, some may have been a lot of other things that we may not be positively proud of today, but we're going to enjoy it and we're going to embrace it because it's Oakland at the end of the day. One thing I want to say is, if y'all say it with me, it's power to the people, right? All power to the people. Now we have to remind people that we have the power. We have to remind this generation and these young guys that we actually do have the power. By organizing, by galvanizing, by creating, by continuing to combine our resources. And Sister Angela Davis's last book, Freedom is a Constant Struggle, she talks about solidarity, and she talks about intersectional solidarity. And what that means is we meet each other where we have our resources at, and we all combine those things. We all combine those things and we say, well, I may not be great at speaking and articulating, so we're going to find someone to speak for us. I may not be good at military or enforcing, so we're going to find someone that has that power. Computer science may not be my greatest asset, so we're going to find someone that has that. And what we continue to do is we continue to build each other where we're strong at. The minister says it's imperative that we meet each other where they are. You have to meet someone where they are. And although we all want each other to ascend to higher heights, sometimes we have to go where they are. And as we go where they are, that's where we're our strongest. That's where we're the most powerful. Here today is, when I got here, I was like, I love everyone here. Can we make a round of applause for everyone that's here right now? That means clap for yourself today. But next year, I want to be able to see an ocean of people. I want to be able to see people to the BART station, as we say, a man who spent his whole life fighting for everybody else. At least we can fight to keep the memory alive. And this is not about just one individual, because Huey represented for everyone, and he represented for the people and around the world. But the headstone of this is remembering his contributions, and to several other members that have done remarkable things that will go down in history as great. I did some studies, and before I bring up the next guest, because I'm long-winded, but I'm not going to be today, I did some studies, and I'm going to say a few names, and these names, this is just to show you how powerful we are and how much power that the people have possessed and possess. Saddam Hussein, Adolf Hitler, Joseph Stalin, Arafat, Gaddafi. These were people that were public enemy number ones. And then you see Huey Newton. I don't associate with what our mind has taught us. All I saw was from the stories and from being there, from watching, teaching, empowering, encouraging, motivating, instilling. All I saw was a powerful man who led a movement to empower each other. But you became public enemy number one for that? It wasn't murder, it wasn't blowing up schools, it wasn't institutions, it wasn't slavery. You became public enemy number one for empowering your people. That reminds you to let you know that we are some of the most powerful people in the world, except through the years we have lost identity of how strong we actually are. Now that has been socially engineered, so we can't take all the blame. But we have to get back to reminding each other how powerful we are together. So as we galvanize and as we organize, we may not always agree with each other's politics. We may not always agree with the approach and the way that some of us do things. Some of us don't look like the traditional activists. But I never knew that an activist had a uniform. I always thought that it was the act of what they were doing. It wasn't what they were wearing. It wasn't what they were saying. It was what they were doing. It is time that we begin to remove judgment and begin to allow things to be as they are. And long as the work is getting done, then we applaud that. And let's stop being so focused on a person's personal life. One person's transgressions is not who they actually are. That is something that we all go through as our human fight. We go through that. Nobody's perfect. But we working on empowering and building. If y'all can promise me that you tell one person to tell one person to tell one person, then next year we'll be to the BART station. We'll be to the BART station in a sea of people. Something representing all power to the people. All power to the people. As long as we remind people that we have the power. I want to bring up another speaker. The speaker that's coming up today is, well, we have to stay in this middle. To the future speakers that come up here, we got to stay here. Because this feedback is vicious. Karen Slaughter. Wait, I get a chance to bring up someone who's doing a lot of work in this area in West Oakland. Today we were able to see powerful things, as Mama Newton said. That's what I like to call her. I'm sorry. It's Mama to me, man. She's the mother of our neighborhood and the mother of our movement, and someone that's continuing to keep it going and nurturing that. So I give her that credit of all. I love her so much. She's such a beautiful spirit. We get a chance to say, man, one thing we realize is the black woman is amazing, man, and so powerful. And the woman, everybody here today has been through a woman. Amen. Everybody in, I don't know nobody here today that hasn't come through a woman. If you have, let me know. Okay, robot. But the beauty of it is, man, she said 70% of the Black Panther members were women. And that lets you know how strong the woman is and what they do and the initiatives that they push and they continue to do. This woman that I'm going to bring up right here is pushing the same narrative and continuing to do due diligence in our communities. And we need to rally behind the movements that she continues to further, and the progressive movement of us building and making Oakland be kind of familiar of what we once recognized to those that may be natives and of this city. Pushing this, man, and keep pushing. Let's fight, because it's hard. We up against a lot. We are up against a lot in this city right now, man. We are up against a lot. And that's why it's imperative that we continue to keep coming together. With no further ado, I want to bring up Councilwoman Carol Fife. Amazing. I need hands clapping. I need hands clapping. Continuing to keep the spirit going. Let's keep pushing. Sister.
Okay, Mr. Fab, I'm supposed to stand right here?
Right in the middle.
Gotcha. It is do I need it? Because it's a lot of feedback. I was trying to do what he was doing. And I'm a professional. Organizer. No matter what they say about it.
Now, and these youngsters who feel like they don't have any true value of self. We have to get back to teaching these youngsters that they are somebody. I had a conversation with a young kid that I mentored the other day, and it's in my phone, and it saddened me because his words was, "I just want to be a kid." 14-year-old boy said, "Man, I just want to be a kid." I said, "Man, I don't want to rob nobody. I'm tired of breaking windows and stealing, and never got a chance to be a kid, man." We have to be able to provide some type of place and solace and refuge for these children, man. Because those are the next leaders. Those are the next. We are watching the next Dr. Huey Newtons be assassinated and murdered and their innocence being stripped right in front of us, and we're not doing anything about it. We're watching the next Mr. Chavez, Dr. Kings, Malcolm X. We aren't giving them a chance to be Dr. Angelo, the next Sherry Chisholm. We need to give a chance to these kids, and let's replant what they have diminished in our garden. This garden of life is in these kids. I want to bring a friend to the family, a friend of the family up. This woman has not only done so many remarkable things for the Black Panther parties and the foundations, the Dr. Huey Newton Foundation, but she's done so much work in the community with several individuals. She's actually done things for me as an individual and have given proclamations and noticed us. One thing about life is to be noticed is an amazing feeling. When is the last time you felt noticed? And to be able to say, man, we are being noticed. And she is a friend of our progressive movement and utilizing her position to make a difference effectively and consistently. I want to bring up Senator Nancy Skinner.
You've already heard some very, very powerful reminders of what Dr. Newton did and what the Black Panther Party, what they represent. I think it's got a lot of feedback, doesn't it? Anyway. And I'm not going to repeat that because who can speak better around that than Congresswoman Lee, Frederica, Councilmember Fife, Mr. Fab, others. But what I will say is,
continue to give to one another a gift of truth, of sacrifice, of love. We have a lot of work ahead of us. That's been made apparent today and every day we breathe. We know. If a city like Oakland, which used to be a majority Black city, is struggling on behalf of its Black residents the way that it is, imagine how the rest of the country's doing. This example of what happened here today, thanks to the Huey P. Newton Foundation, all these vendors, they are honoring the 10-point program, the platform, keeping money, our money, in our community, where it is honored, it's appreciated, it's respected, and it's wanted. It's needed as well. This is a prime example of how to do that. As a community, we spend billions, if not trillions of dollars a year in places that don't care about our money. They don't care about our issues. They don't care about us as people. Let's spend our money at home with our neighbors, our family, the people who love us, the people who want us to be lifted up. Money isn't everything, but it sure makes things a lot easier. And this is one way to continue to lift up the Black community. So I want to applaud and thank the Huey P. Newton Foundation for bringing these vendors here. Black vendors with Black products, with things that matter to our lives, that make us happy. This is how we do it. This is just one way. So I'll end where I started, talking about our history. African descendants deserve to see themselves in the public realm. Space is power, and we need to take up space. Our children deserve to see themselves and their history and their people in statuary, in art, not just in the boardrooms, but out here in the open. Whether you come upon a statue like the bust of Huey P. Newton accidentally, or you've intended on finding it and learning about it, the learning is the same. Our children need to know our history, and who better than us to tell it? Thank you for being here today. All power to the people.
All power to the people.
Thank you.
You speak so eloquently. The side conversations, if y'all hear the side conversations, man, it's powerful. Returning family members is something I want to talk about. And returning family members that are coming back, the language that people want to use is formerly incarcerated, ex-convicts. No, that's a different kind of language. That's not our language.